Hey there, this is K4A, Knowledge for All, and in this video today we are going to change the look of the menu buttons in Towers vs Monsters Game Maker official template. So those two buttons which you can see on the screen left, the green one and red, the right one, we want for some reason to change the look of those buttons. I will talk about possible reasons and ideas later. That's not important and the topic for this video, and also the whole look of those buttons it's not the main point, the focus of this video. They already look great. They look really polished and nice, but again, for some reason you want to change them. We are going to change them into some very simple, ugly programmer's graphics just to show how you can do it, but the idea it's not on the look and not on the functionality, on how to code them, and not on the reason why to do them. The idea and the focus is just how to change them in the case you want to do that for making your game more unique, because this template is official and from Game Maker, but it is by default same for all the users. So if you want to make original game, you will want to change some assets, functionality and so on, which is what we are talking in these tutorials. Okay, so if I start my game, I can see that I have two buttons, green and red, left and right, popping from the bottom like animated, and I also have animated Towers vs Monsters title in the top. The background has changed, so for example I want to change this play button and quit button, so let's try to find those. For all of you who have been working with Game Maker for some time and know the basics of it, you know that there are some kind of objects in Game Maker, the features which is called objects, and when you want to define some kind of item in the game like button, character and so on, you define it as object. So there is a folder called objects. Click on it to open it. You have buttons, enemies, HUD and so on. So when you want to do that, when you define some item, some character as object, then you later drag and drop it into scene. So in our case, because I want to change buttons, the first idea, again just common sense, would be to click on buttons to try to find the red and the green one, the play and the exit button, and here they are: obj button quit game and obj button start. So if I click on obj button start and obj button quit game, in my workspace I will have some kind of a window open, and that window says, okay, you have some kind of code. Again, I said I'm not interested in it. I don't want to change how my buttons behave, how they are coded, how they are animated on the screen. That is cool, I like that. All I want to do is change the look, and the look is called sprite. It is image, it is picture, it is sprite, all the same, different words. So here in this first window which says name obj button start, below it it says sprite, sprite button green. Okay, sprite button green is this guy here, this guy here, this is sprite button here on the screen, and this is sprite button red. I want to change those, so click on this sprite button green and you will have new window now opened which says, okay, which sprite do you want to select? Okay, let me click on the sprites to see what sprites do I have as option. I will resize this window. Enemies, environment, HUD icons, towers, UI. Okay, so I have this sprite button green here, it's in UI, I don't want to use that. Maybe I can use whatever I want. I can use tower, I can use enemies like zombies, I can use environment, structures, sprite house. I can use whatever I want, but let me, yeah, I can use this guy here, for example, for, yeah, I can use coins, SPR HUD counter coins. So let's click on that one. So I have changed the sprite. That's what I wanted to do. Press play, and let's see what happens now. Yeah, for a second I thought it won't work. Play with this, I don't know, gold coin. So we have changed the sprite, and this will work. Yeah, the game works. Let's do that for the red button also, but we saw that there are some kind of what should we pick for red button? Let's pick this guy here. So again, I just want to change the look of it, the image, not the functionality. I want to keep the animation, to keep the press play, press exit and so on, but the problem here is that I also have some kind of text on it, and we will change that also in a second, but let me first try if this works too. So play, quit, it works. Play is a golden coin, quit is guy with some kind of wheat in his mouth, and that works. But the problem here is that when the game starts, I have those we have done one task, we have solved one problem. We can now change the look of the play buttons. So again, you can have different reasons for that, but the problem here is I have this play, I have this quit, I don't want to have those. How to solve that problem? That problem is, again, just use common sense. That is some kind of text which is above my sprite, so I have to find some kind of text which is probably generated by code. So all I have to do is click on this obj button start again to try to find code. Code is in events, create events. Let's start with that, and here it is. The first one is called parent event. We haven't learned that yet, don't touch it, I mean, your choice. The second one, the second code, second block says assign variable text play, text outline color. So this is where some kind of, and you even have the comments, you can just read the comments. Set the button text, okay. So if I click on it and try to disable it, I think it will be good enough. Maybe not, maybe I will get errors. If I get errors, I will stop trying to solve this. Yeah, I still have button. No, I just have now button instead of play. Okay, so maybe I should, yeah, maybe I should find the parent event, but that's out of the topic of this video. We will do that in next video. Same with this guy here, obj button quit game, create, draw maybe, no, preview only, draw GUI, set text, yeah. We will talk about these in later videos. Let me just try to obj button quit the game. We also have this text, and text is quit. If I disable it, it will also say button, yeah. So some code overwrites it, but I can maybe try to do this. Let me try to do some kind of hack which could be stupid, but nevertheless maybe it will work. So I want to play a little bit with this assign variable which we have learned before, and instead of having quit as a value, I want to have empty space. I will try to because I want to play with it, change it, the good idea is to copy, paste it, and then work on one and the one disable other one just to have the original later if I mess things up. And the whole idea here is, again, this is a very fast solution, but maybe it will work, sometimes it does. Instead of having quit here on my quit button, I want to have no text, so I will just delete this value quit and leave the empty question, sorry, how do you call these marks? Okay, so maybe it will work, I don't know, I hope so. Yeah, it works great. So you see how you can, just by experimenting, test and try, hacking things, whatever you call it, improvising, you can do really lots of stuff, and it's fun. Yeah, that's the whole idea of coding, development, artwork, whatever you do, it should be fun. It's supposed to be fun, you should enjoy it. So we have done that for our quit game. Same thing for my button start. I have button start, say either button or play. I don't want to do that. I have disabled play, so I will enable it, test it. Now it will say play. Okay, if I disable it, it will say button, because somewhere that code is overwritten by parents, probably, or something like that. I have selected the sign variable block, copy, paste it, then click on the first one, disable it to have it as a reserve as original, because I want to do what? I want to change the second one, and I want to change it into what? Into empty quote marks, yeah. And voila, you have play button with some kind of yellow circle coin and the exit for this guy. So we have changed the sprites and it works. So yeah, maybe I can 12 minutes. Okay, so I will talk a little bit more just to show you where can you find those and where can you add more. So we have changed the look of those two buttons in terms of we have picked sprites images different than what were the original one, but we have picked them from what we have here, from some kind of sprites. You can click on sprites folder and you can see that there are sprites you can choose from. They are already given to you from game maker, programmers and artists, and that's okay. That's cool for some of you for learning purposes, but again, when you want to do something original, you want to create your own. So let's try to do that. Again, reasons for that can be numerous. We will talk about that in a few seconds, but for now, just let's say our game designer wants blocks, squares, or some squared images. So let's try to make those. Click on the workspace because we will work in it. Click on the sprites folder if it isn't already open. And first of all, I want to find maybe buttons, or yes, sprite loose image is, let me just check how big it is. Width and height 163 times 168, and sprite button green, which was my first choice, 267. So maybe I can go with 128. Okay, I will leave this just here as a sample. So click on the sprites folder if you haven't already, then right click, create what we want to create, original sprite, original image. So click on create sprite. We have new window here with sprite name, which we will define now, and we have width and height 64 times 64. I want to change the width and height into maybe 100 and oops, click on this square with 4 arrows, size, resize sprite, Control plus R. So I want to resize this from 64 times 64 pixels into 128, but when I type 128 for width, I can see and click anywhere, I can see my height changed. I don't want my height change, I want my height to leave to stay at the same value, so I have to click on maintain aspect ratio to uncheck it. And if you remember, if you have watched my previous video on sketchbook image size, I think, and yeah, we had same issue. By default, computers want resolution to be square. That's how they work, that's how they crunch the data easier when the data is squared, images, numbers, whatever. In some squared space, they work faster, they work easier. So by default, they want to maintain this aspect ratio in the same, width and height the same, but we don't want to do that, so we uncheck this button and change the height into 64. So when I click on apply now, my this square here will change into different look. So I have changed the sprite size, but still no colors, no image. So I have to click on this edit image to open the graphic editor, which is already in GameMaker, which is great. You don't have to go out and open, for example, Sketchbook, Photoshop, whatever. You can draw here. And I want to make a simple button. I will first center fit, zoom out a couple of times to see this better. I want this button to be and this is green, so maybe yeah, red as a YouTube. So sprite, I pick red color here, I pick paint bucket here, fill tool, and here it is. This can be the background. I need one more layer, so I will click on this button here below which says add layer to all frames, and now you can pick in which layer you work, and I will pick the one which is now above, and I will try to create not polygon but line tool, white, and just make some kind of play button. Yeah, I hope YouTube is okay with this one. This will be the play. I want it white, so I will click the fill tool. I have the white selected. Oops, here it is. Great, it looks great. Sprite 78. I will call this, click on the name, this field, and delete this one, and I will type spr underscore btn for button play, play, maybe button original play, or custom play, custom, because it's different from those we have from GameMaker. Okay, so again, what do we want to do? We have changed the obj button start sprite into coin. This time game designer says, okay, I want a button which looks like YouTube. We have made it. Okay, let's try to find it. Again, just click on this obj button start sprite, this field here with 3 dots, sprites, here it is, and it's changed. Let me see that in action, how it will look. It works. It's ugly, but but it works. Yeah, let me add one more just to make it more ugly. this is a original game now. Okay, so let's go back to workspace. Let's go back. Let's go back to. I have closed this one. Sprite button custom play. I want to make another one for exit because I'm lazy and this video is already too long. I will right click on this sprite. First left click to select this sprite button custom play, then right click, and instead of creating new one I will click on duplicate, and now we have two sprite button custom plays. We don't need two, we need one for sprite button custom play and another for sprite button custom exit. So I will change the name first. Okay, that is important because you can get lost if you have lots of images and objects in your game. Then I will want to edit image, and I will want to zoom out, and I will want to hide this play button layer. That's why I duplicated, because now I already have default base layer as red. I will click on this add layer to all frames to add new one, empty one, and I will now pick the black color. This one I will pick the line tool and make an X to symbolize the exit. Again, very simple and ugly, but who cares for this game? It's good enough. So we have made the original graphics, which looks great, but we have to say to GameMaker, okay, instead of this graphic with this guy here, use the one which I just made. So obj button quit game, click on it, click on the sprite which you have chosen before, sprite with 3 dots field. It will open a new window. You will click on the sprites folder if that's where you saved your image, and click on this SPR button custom exit, and now we have these two guys as our original artwork. So let me just test it. Yeah, great. This looks like real indie gem. It works. So the whole idea with this video again was just to show you how to change the graphics for the main menu buttons. We haven't talked about coding much, although we have seen how you, even for some kind of visual styles like text or stuff like that, sometimes you will have to change some bits of code. We did that. We kind of improvised a little bit, but the whole idea is to change the graphics, and we did that in two ways. The first one was change the artwork, the sprite for it, by picking the sprites which GameMaker gave us with this template, their graphics, the graphics which they made. And the second choice was, when we want even something more original, then let's try to add something which we can create in GameMaker on its own, or even you can here, when you click on sprites, you can import images. Like click on import and then pick sprite which someone made for you, or if you have bought it from asset store or whatever. So we have learned how to change it, and again, just to give a couple of reasons why would you do it, and what would be the reasons for it, although we have already told it. The whole idea here with this template, and also the templates which you can buy from GameMaker or store, marketplace, or asset store, Unity or Unreal, whichever you choose, is that those assets are sold for every customer, and it doesn't matter if you have bought them, I can buy them to someone else too. So if 100 people buy the same item, same assets, and we use them all in our games, we will have more or less the same games in terms of look. So if you have used this template by default, myself too, and you try to publish this game and I publish it too, they will look the same. You will have the same monsters, the same title, the same user interface, the same buttons. That doesn't make sense. No one wants to play the game like that, to buy it, to spend time on it because it looks the same. So that's the reason why even when you get some kind of template from Unity, Unreal Game Maker, you will have to learn to change it, or someone will have to do it for you. And also, even if you are working in some kind of studio or for some client, for example, someone can hire you to make a tower defense game, and you can use this template, but you will have to change the graphics for it. So sometimes a game designer orders that changes. Sometimes it's the client, sometimes it's just you as indie developer. So sooner or later you will have to change it, and sometimes you will do it a lot. So for example, if you have some game designer who is not sure what he wants, he will try to change couple of looks, couple of designs. He will ask the art department artist to make those buttons, but if he is not capable to change it later on its own, he will ask you as a programmer developer to do that, to put those sprites, those images in engine, and to test them, or to test drive it, to show it how it looks and so on. So for example, if I want a sci-fi science fiction game, I would change these buttons into some science fiction look. If I make a Wild West game with cowboys and Indians, I would change it into something else, and so on and so on. So that's it for this video. Again, sorry this was too long, but I hope we have learned a couple of new things. And again, this is Endless Story. We will see that in next video. We have only explained how to change the look. We will talk about some other topics in next video. Thanks for watching. See you in that next video. I hope so. Bye for now.